Hi, this is episode 51, which I'm calling And Then It All Went Dark. So it's Friday today. So it's just over a week since I had my surgery. So I came home Monday, so I've been home 5 days. So yesterday I went to see the surgeon, Dr. Deviana, just to, clean the wounds and get more bandages, and just to find out about the biopsies as well. So I went to the nurse first, and so she changed the bandages, said it's all healing really well, and then Dr. Diviana came in. So it was a lot of information, but so it was to take in to start. But basically the message was they didn't get it all. So they took 3 lymph nodes out of my right side, and they need to take another 3. So that was the first bad news, is they've got to go back in and redo it again. So I'm probably okay with that one, but I don't know if I mentioned the bruising that they were checking when I was in hospital, so on my actual breast, and it's not getting better, which could be a sign that the skin is basically, I'm using not his words, but necrosis, which means the skin isn't actually attaching and the circulation happening, so it's starting to go too dark. So what that means is they might have to take the implant out as well, and put in an expander so that they can get the skin fixed. So that was a really big shock yesterday, and mainly because everything had been going so smoothly, and in my mind it was going to continue to go smoothly. You know, I was a week in, I was feeling better each day, and then all of a sudden it was like, well, you're about to go back to, back to the drawing board, and you're back at stage 1 sort of thing. And whilst it's been healing and the pain's been okay, you're just waiting for that point in time where, okay, I can move around again, and I can, do things normally. And whilst I like a good operation, going in again is not really what I wanted. So it was the worst news ever. So it took a while, I think, to sink in for me, but when I got home and had a think about it, and I wasn't even there was no concrete thoughts or anything like that. For the first time in this whole process, I actually cried. And yeah, it's sort of tearing me up now. But I don't know why. Because it's not like, it's more of, again, the inconvenience that it has to be done again. Not that I feel like it's anything bad, if you know what I mean. So I just want to be healed, and I just want to be back to normal. So that was tough. It was really, really tough, and you just sort of feel this darkness come over you, because like usually I'm so, bouncy, and maybe overly bouncy, but yesterday was not a bouncy day, and I said to Derek, I don't even know, what I'm getting upset about, because it is what it is, and you just have to go in. I think I'd be okay if it was just going into the lymph nodes to take them out, rather than having to go back in for the whole operation, because as I said before, in my mind, I was 1 week in, I had another week to go, and potentially 2 more weeks until I would be back to normal and back to work. So now I'm looking at probably, absolutely another 2 weeks, because it's back to 2 weeks recovery, 2 weeks, more recovery, and then they say you may even have 2 weeks after that. So what started as potentially 4 to 6 weeks is now going to be 6 to 8 weeks. So I don't like that. I don't like losing control of my life either. So that was really hard yesterday. But the good thing from yesterday was that after that happened, my mum and my sister arrived. So they came upstairs without having any idea that this has happened. And because Derek went down to get them, I said to him, did you tell them? And he's like, no. And they said, tell us what? And then I had to break the news to them. So it was great, I think, again, what I'm grateful for is when the day I got really bad news, I had my mum and sister come, as you know, here as well as having Derek there, obviously, to support me. So, where we thought Mum might be here a week, Mum might be here a lot longer. So they've been great, as Derek continues to be. They're doing everything for me. I think I need to slow down even more though, because I think I have pushed myself a little bit. I'm hoping this skin thing gets better. I've upped my water. I've made sure I'm not moving around as much as I was, and I am just praying and crossing my fingers that the skin will get better. I'm not terribly optimistic. I had a look at it today. I'm just watching it to make sure it doesn't ooze or there's no sort of signs that it's going to be a problem, because then I've just got to get straight back to hospital. But I'll see Dr. Deviana again on Tuesday. And so initially what he'd said to me yesterday was, oh, you probably won't get in next week. It'll be the Monday after. So again, pushing it out. And I said, okay, well, it is what it is. And then by the time I got home, Ash rang me, because when I went out after I saw Doctor, I saw Ash on reception, and Ash just looked devastated for me. So I was thinking, oh, it's even worse than I thought. But she rang me pretty much after we got home and said, Narelle, we've got you in Wednesday next week. So they obviously moved heaven and earth to get me in as quick as possible. So that's good. So I have to go in to see the OT on Wednesday morning first, because they put a sleeve on you, because obviously the more lymph nodes they take out, the higher risk of lymphedema, which is another thing that's scary. And then I'll go in Wednesday afternoon. It's not as big an operation, obviously, but I'll be in there at least 3 nights. So anyway, that's where we're at. I feel much more at peace with it today, because as I said, it was very, very dark yesterday, and today I'm feeling a lot more at ease, because I think in my mind I'm sort of formulating plans as well. So anyway, that's my update. So I'll let you know how I go once I talk to Dr. Deviana next week. Thanks, guys.